Hello, ladies, and welcome to week 2 of the behavior change model. Okay, so week 1 was all about understanding that in order for change to happen, we need to be at cause or in control or empowered and in the driver's seat. For change to happen, as opposed to being a victim or being an effect of a situation that happens. As you understand, we can't control the way what necessarily happens, but only how we respond to it. So once we're ready to really have a look inside of ourselves and go, you know what, I am ready for change. Okay, I am ready to get uncomfortable. I am ready to take the driver's seat. The second step is now identifying your core values, who you are, what you stand for. Your core values are related to your spiritual health. When your spiritual health knows who she is, what she stands for, what her commandments are, her holy Bible, her house of worship, when she knows what her core values are, what they mean, they become the governing body around all the decisions you make in your life. Okay, and then everything else that's not inside those values, the CEO that runs the show can basically take a little bit of a dive, okay, and go into the big bag of bullshit. So this is what step 2 is about. Self-respect versus disrespect. When you know who you are and what you stand for, and you honor that and you practice that in the face of adversity, when the chips are low, not just when life is great and working the way that you want to, guess what? That is the ultimate of self-respect. If you don't know what your core values are, or if you do know what your core values are, but you choose not to honor them, then that's the opposite of respect. That's disrespect. So I'm going to go through you. There's a little cheat sheet that you do have that I did send you through in your startup. That's called What Is Mine, the What Is Mine Fitness PDF file. And we're going to scroll down to number 2, and I'm going to read out what's here and then elaborate a little bit on it. Okay. Excellent. All right. So self-respect is knowing who you are, but not defining it by what you do. It's knowing what qualities cause you to be at your absolute undeniable best. Having self-respect is knowing your core values, being aligned with your core values and congruent with them in every area of your life, from your health to your personal relationships to your career, just to name a few. Self-respect becomes the decision-making process around everything that you do in your life. When you choose respect, you're choosing to honor yourself and you're teaching people how to treat you. When you don't, what's going to happen is your environment will treat you the way that they think they should treat you, based upon their model of the world, not yours. Does that make sense? Yeah? So here's the $1 million question. How do we work out what our core values are? Well, this is an activity I'm going to get you to do. So in your exercise book or in your winner's Bible, okay, you're going to open up to an empty page. Let's see if I can find one, an empty page, okay, just like this. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to do a little thing like that. Can you see what I've done here? Okay, we're going to divide the page in 2. Okay, on one side, you're going to write down over here. Okay, you're going to write down, where do I spend most of my time and my money? And if I had more time and more money, what would I do with it? Okay, then on the other side here, you're going to write, what do all these things represent? Where do I spend most of my time and my money? If I had more of it, what would I do? And on this side, what do all those things represent? And I want you to write out until you empty out and you've got nothing left to write, okay? Now, on the other side of the page, we're going to do the same thing, okay? Slightly different question. On this side of the page, on the inside, we're going to write, who are the most important people, places, and things in my life? Okay, who are the most important people, places, and things in my life? And on this side, what do all those things represent? Now, what we're going to do is you're going to come up with a whole lot of things that those two questions represent. You know, so for example, I might have family, I could have business, I could have my health. Where do I spend most of my time? Money. If I have more of it, what would I do it? Holidays. What do they represent? Well, family represents unconditional love, joy, happiness. Health represents energy, vitality, empowerment, and stability. Okay. Business represents peace and tranquility. Okay, so we take this whole list of all the representational things and on both sides of the equation right here, and we turn it over. And we write we write them all out again. One line for everything that you've got there. And then you're going to put it in the order of most importance. Okay? So you'll have, for example, you might have unconditional love, energy, vitality, peace, tranquility, freedom, stability, empowerment, just to name a few. And then you're going to go back and you're going to pick your top 5. You're going to put it in the order of most importance. And this is how we work our most importance out. It's the one we want the most, but we feel we can't give ourselves. For example, unconditional love, okay? Maybe it's the most important for you, but it's not the one that you're doing consistently. That becomes number 1. Then what you want to do is define it. So for me, unconditional love is number 1. And for me, it means acceptance without judgment, okay? Your core values are how you do you, not how you do your environment or how your environment does you or how you treat your family. No, it's about what qualities cause you to be at your best. So we've got our top 5 now. We've got the top 5 meanings. Excellent. That's your what and that's your why. That's your definition. And now the next thing is your how. How do you do that? How do you do acceptance without judgment, for example, if it's unconditional love is number 1? Then you look into your environment and then you get inspired by how you do unconditional love in your environment and you write that down and then you start doing that for you. You start making decisions in your life for you around that. Does that make sense? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Once you've done your 5 core values and their definitions and the how you do that, you want to create a vision board. You want to create a vision board that you are absolutely undeniably inspired by, that represents those core values and what they mean. You could get inspiration from, other people's Instagrams, from your past as well, where you have felt at your best and done your best or looked your best or felt your best or what have you. Okay, a vision board is really important because when you look at it every day, okay, you're rewiring your brain to get rid of the old avatar and integrate the new avatar. And over the space of a month, that's going to be your blueprint. And that's what we want, because then what you see, the decisions that you make and how you treat yourself will be based upon that foundation, not your old one. Guess what? Then following a diet plan or doing an exercise regime or doing the things that need to be done is actually going to work because we've set a new slab. We're actually creating a new foundation before we build the house. We're not building the house on an old foundation, just with a new set of tools. Does that make sense? Okay, and lastly, before we finish off today's discussion on self-respect versus disrespect and identifying your core values, the last thing I want you to do is I want you to create a playlist of songs that you can play to yourself every single day when you're at the gym, when you're in the car, when you're cleaning the house, that represents those values for you as well. The power of music is absolutely undeniably mood changing, and that is what your core values are. They are a state of mind, a state of being, okay? They initiate change instantly when you say the words, when you say the definitions, when you're looking at what it means, and last of all, when you hear the songs that represent that, it's going to imprint it and it's going to make it last. I hope that's helped, and if you've got any questions, you know what to do.